Hello, you're watching India Today Global with me, Ishita Mitra. It's Friday afternoon in the Indian capital, and at this hour, we bring you the top news from around the world. Now, our top story today comes from the US. In a major relief for thousands of immigrants, a federal judge has now issued a significant ruling blocking President Donald Trump's executive order for now. Now, this order was aimed to end birthright citizenship for children born in the US to non-citizen parents, and this had sent shockwaves amongst the immigrant community in the US. Now, this ruling coming in from a federal judge has halted the enforcement of this controversial order, which Donald Trump had signed earlier this week. Now, this marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing legal challenges to this hardline immigration policies that Donald Trump has been introducing ever since he entered White House again. Now, the lawsuit challenging Trump's executive order was filed by 4 Democratic-led states: Washington, Arizona, Illinois, and Oregon. And the judge, which has given a ruling in this case, has now prevented federal agencies from implementing this order while the case proceeds. So definitely this is a short-term relief because we don't know how the case will pan out for now. But for now, the order that has been signed by Donald Trump to end birthright citizenship in US will not be implemented. So at the heart of this case, it has become a very controversial case because, as the America is called the land of liberty, and how the American dream, has been inviting immigrants from around the world, it has ignited a lot of debate over what immigration policies would be for America under Donald Trump. And at the heart of this case, which has now become the center of this debate, is 14th Amendment of the US Constitution. Now, the Constitution guarantees citizenship to anyone born on US soil. But Donald Trump's order sought to deny this right to children born to parents who are neither US citizens nor lawful permanent residents. So this means this could impact a lot of people in the US who've been living in the hope that one day they would get green card, and with that, their children who are born in the US would also get citizenship, and along with citizenship comes a lot of rights. But now their hope is right now under scrutiny. We don't know if that hope would ever, materialize into actual citizenship for their children. Now, during the court proceedings, the judge appeared highly critical of the administration's position. See, what Trump and his administration has been saying is that what we have brought, the executive order, it does not violate US Constitution at all. In fact, the article which we're talking about has been interpreted very differently. But the judge in this case said that no, the position that Trump administration has been taking so far is wrong and violates US Constitution. In a packed courtroom, he told the Justice Department lawyer, that he could not fathom how anyone could defend the constitutionality of this order. Basically, he's saying that the order goes against the spirit and the letter of the US Constitution. And to quote him, in fact, I would say, the judge said, "I have been on the bench for over 4 decades. I can't remember another case where the question presented is as clear as this. This is blatantly unconstitutional order," which basically means that there is nothing in the US Constitution that actually, aids this order that has been launched by Trump's administration. Now, let's take a step back and understand that what is it in Trump's order. So the executive order, which was issued by Donald Trump, stipulates that children born in the US after February 19th, whose parents are not US citizens, basically people who have been on work visa, student visa, they have been living in US with the hope that one day they would get a green card and eventually their children would become citizens. So basically those people or lawful permanent residents who are yet to get a green card would not be granted citizenship. Now, these children could be subjected to deportation and they would not be eligible for key government benefits as well. And this includes social security numbers, healthcare, and the ability to legally work as adults in the US. Now, so you see, with that order coming in place, the future of the children who will be born in the US after 20th February is now very uncertain. We don't know how that would look like, and therefore there are a lot of people in the immigrant community who've been worried about this, who've been against this order. They have been challenging this legally as well. They've been protesting against it, and now the result of those legal challenges is this. judgment given by a federal judge who's for now blocked the order and saying that this order cannot be implemented until the court decides on whether or not this is constitutional or not. Now, the principle of birthright citizenship. Let's understand what that is. Now, the US follows this, and it's about one of the 30 countries that grant citizenship based on the location of birth. Basically saying that if you have been born in the US and your parents are not illegal immigrants, then you directly, automatically get citizenship of the country. Countries like Canada and Mexico are also among those who uphold this principle. This principle is basically called getting citizenship by the location of your birth. Now, if you're somebody in India who's watching that, you would understand that we do not follow this principle. But there is a clause here. Now, Trump administration is saying that the children of non-citizens should not be considered subject to the jurisdiction of the US and therefore should not be entitled to citizenship at all. So what have been the reactions so far? Let's understand. Now, as soon as a judge gave a judgment in this case, President Trump made it very clear that his administration is going to appeal that decision. He said, and I quote him, obviously we will appeal, and this was during a White House appearance that he said this. Now, the Justice Department has also responded very quickly to the ruling, stating that it would vigorously defend the executive order signed by Donald Trump. And according to the department, the order correctly interprets the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, despite the criticism and the legal challenges from civil rights groups and, of course, democratic-led states that it has been getting so far. Now, if you see what would be the impact of this order, let's say the case proceeds and it is declared that this is constitutional, then what could be the impact? See, if Trump's order were to stand today, it is estimated that, over 150,000 children born in the US each year would be denied citizenship. This is a huge number. I'll repeat it for you, 150,000 children who will be born in the US after February 19th would be denied citizenship. And this move would also affect their access to social services, legal protections that are, generally available to US citizens. And you see, this ruling is a larger part of the legal struggle. At least 6 other lawsuits have also been filed since the order came into place, and most of them have been spearheaded by civil rights organizations. And of course, there's also a coalition of about 22 Democratic state attorney generals. So they have also called that the order passed by the Donald Trump administration is something that does not hold the true spirit of US Constitution, and therefore they've filed an order declaring it to, urging the court to declare it to be unconstitutional. Now, these states argue that Trump's action is a violation of the 14th Amendment's Citizenship Clause, which guarantees that anyone born in the US is automatically a citizen. Now, a major question comes up. What's next? We have already seen how this has proceeded so far. There was an executive order that was signed by Donald Trump. He said that birthright citizenship should be denied to anyone who's born in the US, whose parents are not yet basically citizens of America. But what's next is to be understood now. Well, for now, the executive order is blocked and the case will continue through the courts. But the temporary restraining order prevents the Trump administration from enforcing the order while the legal challenges unfold. This is also something that's going to benefit. You see, interesting phenomena that started in US was that Indian community, because the deadline is about 20th February, a lot of women started going for, there was a C-section rush that was being witnessed in the US, and this was because they did not want their children to be denied citizenship. They wanted, premature births were being witnessed in the US because women did not want that their children should be denied US citizenship. And this is something that, health-wise was very serious, could also have, a lot of complications for their health. When premature babies are born, they're not healthy, they're not able to cope up with their conditions very well. So interestingly, maybe we could see the stop of that phenomena with this order coming in. And as the battle over birthright citizenship continues, all eyes will be, of course, on the US courts that will decide whether or not Trump's executive order will stand, or the constitutional protection of citizenship for all those who are born in the US will remain intact. But you see this case, of course, there's one issue that's of birthright citizenship, and the case is revolving around that. But it also underscores the ongoing debate in US over immigration policy. If you have been someone who's been closely tracking US elections, we have been covering them on India Today Global, you would know that Donald Trump made immigration a major plank of his campaign. He's been saying that he would go after illegal immigrants. He's been saying that, under Biden administration, and especially blaming Kamala Harris as well. He's been saying that, during while they were basically in power, a lot of people from around the world came to the US. He's been blaming them for the rise in crime rates in the US. He's been saying that all of these people are from mental asylums or they're criminals and they're just pouring into US because of Biden administration. And he's been saying that once he takes office, he would make sure that these people are deported from US, and there's something to stop them. But it has been, this all of this debate and all of these campaigns have been surrounding around illegal immigrants. It was not about legal immigrants. People who have merit, people who have gone through all the paperwork, people who have fulfilled all the eligibility criteria or all the obligations that comes to the process. The H-1B visa debate, US President Donald Trump has also made his case very clear that he favors those who have merit and who are coming to US to contribute to its economy. But this judgment and this executive order, of course, also affects them. So now it is yet to be seen that how the case would unfold and how the community of legal immigrants, who've been major contributors to American economy, how they would respond to this case. And as the case underscores the debate, we have to understand that, the questions regarding US immigration policy, constitutional rights, and of course the future of citizenship in the US will have to be answered now. So thank you so much. This was the overview of the judgment given by the federal judge who's blocked now the enforcement of executive order, which was written and signed by Donald Trump to end birthright citizenship in the US. So thank you so much for watching this. Stay tuned to India Today Global, where we simplify geopolitics for you.